I'm Peter Block here in Orlando at AHA 2009. With me, of course, is Chris Cannon, and this is a daily wrap-up of the late-breaking clinical trials. Let me begin with the popular trial. The whole issue of clopidogrel testing. You know, does it work, does it not work? Turns out that if you test a number of different ways, that in fact it turns out that clopidogrel resistance is related to outcomes. The more resistant you are, the less good outcomes there are. The popular trial now documents that. There's more information going to come on this, right, Chris?
Well, very prospectively done large trial, over 1,000 patients, used 7 different assays, and that's been one area that people aren't sure which assays. Not all of them worked, but the light transmission, the Verify Now assay, amongst others, that seem to correlate as had been seen in smaller studies, now looks like this is real. The next step, of course, is to see what to do about it. And so there is one ongoing trial in the United States, another in Europe, to look at higher dosing of clopidogrel or alternate antiplatelet agents in those who are clopidogrel resistant. And I think the field is now waiting for that.
More to come. Then the champion trials, 2 champion trials.
Well, this was a pair of trials looking at the intravenous P2Y12 inhibitor Cangrelor. This was given at the start of cath, just prior to PCI, in 2 trials. The first one was Champion Platform, that was a placebo-controlled trial where the clopidogrel in the control arm was given at the end of the case, as has been typical in many interventions. There, they did not meet a primary endpoint of reduction in cardiovascular events in that early time period, but did see improvements in stent thrombosis, even actually mortality. So signs of benefit against placebo with a late administration in the Champion Platform trial that Deepak Bhatt presented.
Right, but there was a second champion trial as well.
Well, then the other one was to say, what about giving 600 milligram clopidogrel dose at the start of the case? And so that was designed to look for non-inferiority. Overall, it really did not see any advantage of giving the intravenous Cangrelor over a 600 milligram loading dose of clopidogrel. Bob Harrington presenting this.
You know, we frequently give 600 milligrams of clopidogrel now, not necessarily at the front end, but immediately afterwards, and that may need to change a little bit. But clearly, the large dose clopidogrel early on is something that interventionalists need to embrace and think about, despite the fact that the surgical bleeding issue still will raise its ugly head.
Yeah, and I think this is in the cath lab dosing, but it does support the notion that giving strong inhibition at the start of the case, during the case, can be beneficial.
Yeah. So there you go. Make the platelets not work well and you get a better outcome. I'm Peter Block, and this is CardioSource News.